And we are top of the league. So the Scrancam returns. It's me, Cam, back with Dak again. And, well, we're at the start. We're top of the league. And going into it, we're playing the same number of games to Liverpool, 3 points clear of them. And, well, going into a huge game at Anfield against Liverpool on the weekend. So, yeah, how do you feel about that one, Dak?
How do I feel, Cam? How do I feel?
How do you feel?
I've not felt this good about this team in a long, long, long time. Just everything, you've got Paul Pogba, who I've slated time and time again, being instrumental to how we play. Credit where credit's due. He's been fantastic when he's pulled on a United shirt this season. Luke Shaw, fantastic. Everyone that called me stupid in the comments, I got a Nando's hot sauce bottle because he's in hot form. And that is Luke Shaw in a nutshell. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely spicy. He's got a brilliant first touch, brilliant progressive play, brilliant outside the box, inside the box. Should have been sent off probably today. But
we don't mention that.
This is the hallmark of champions, how we're playing, Cam. Hallmark of champions. We're scraping through games. We're playing well enough here. We're playing well enough there. We're doing this here. We're doing that there. We're getting a goal when it matters. I mean, Marcus Rashford, I said to you, the call was made by me in your DMs, Cam. I said, get him off, bring Mason on. You did it, obviously, big brain deck, gets it right again. But the awareness from Marcus to pick out Pogba, brilliant, telepathic from the young man. Sorry, Cam, I'm a bit excited.
No, keep going. I'll tell you what, I was fully saying get Rashford off. He wasn't playing well up until then, but he's come up with the assist. Paul Pogba, brilliant volley, and obviously we can see where it's taken us. Damien says, yeah, top of the league. Great stuff. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Thanks so much for watching it. Great night for you as well, I'm assuming. And yeah, we're top of the league. Brilliant performances all round. If you had to give a man of the match, let me know in the comments who you give a man of the match to. I mean, for me, Paul Pogba, obviously. He was fantastic, as Dak said. Absolutely brilliant. Ran the show. He was fantastic at winning headers in the midfield. He put himself about the pitch. He was physical. He was quality on the ball. He did everything you wanted to do. He was absolutely brilliant, Paul Pogba. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got his tactics spot on. He got the team selection brilliant. It was fantastic. And, he made the right call with not taking Rashford off as well. I mean, Greenwood came on, did nothing.
Here's the thing, Cam. 70 minutes. I don't know what time Pogba scored. It was around the 71-minute mark, I think. What that shows me is that Ollie trusts them group of players massively. Yeah. He trusts them massively. He went, you know what, I'm not going to make any changes because I trust these guys to go and get a goal, and they did. And I think this is a hallmark now of we've got players playing for the manager. We've got a manager managing them correctly, can actually manage the big personalities in the team. I mean, regardless of what you say about Paul Pogba, he is hard to manage, like as a person. He just is. Because he's so big, he's got this, that, and the other going. I'm not saying he's a problem, but what I'm saying is he's a player that sometimes needs an arm around the shoulder, sometimes he needs it laying off, and to know how to do that, to fine tune that and get to a point where you can say, look, Paul, we're probably going to let you go at the end of the year, but can you play for me? And I'll let you play for this club. And you're meant to love this club. You've been brought up here as a footballer. Play for this club, play for the badge, and we'll let you do whatever you want at the end of the season. To get that deal, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should have been at the Brexit negotiation deal, to get that type of deal. To get Paul Pogba playing, firing on all cylinders consistently, no matter, even if it's just for 8 months, is amazing. Because we needed a Paul Pogba type player, a progressive player, a player that can run games. That was what we were missing. That's what I was sitting on here going, we need to do. Why aren't we signing them? That's what I was doing. Paul Pogba, fantastic today. But there were loads of people that were fantastic today. Thought Shaw, brilliant. I thought David De Gea's distribution was fantastic, by the way. He didn't have to make many saves, but unbelievable distribution from Big Dave. He was throwing it. I thought, is that Spanish Schmeichel? The throws, the kicks. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is still a load of garbage for me. Sorry, I know I don't want to ruin the day, but he's still unbelievably bad on the ball. He's just so bad.
Yeah. He had a few good moments, but let's keep it positive. Damien says the only person that seemed a bit subpar to me was Martial. At the 70th, 75th minute, I've taken him off for Donny and switched to Diamond. You know what? For me, it's a tough one. I think Martial was subpar, and he had a couple of chances he definitely should have buried. But his link-up play again was pretty decent. I thought he had a few good chances, and especially in the first half. One of the things I've noticed, you'll see it in the tactical analysis video I'll put out later. one of the things I was noticing was the Burnley in the midfield, their two central midfield players were following Pogba and Fernandes. So when Pogba dropped a bit deeper and came to the left, Fernandes went a bit higher because obviously he's playing, looking to play between the defensive midfield of Burnley, and he went out to the right. There was a big gap opening between the Burnley central midfield players. We needed Anthony Martial there as our centre forward, really, so he could drop into that space, pick up the ball, and feed Cavani and Rashford. I think if we'd seen that, the game would have been a lot more comfortable a lot earlier on. So, I mean, yes, Martial had a few good chances he definitely should have buried, but I think he was okay, and I would like to see him play central. I know, Dak, you said that to me during the first half.
Yeah, I think Martial, in my opinion, I think all he was missing was that finish today. I mean, that pass from Pogba, it was a good pass. It was through, the one where he might have took an extra touch. Do you know? Yeah. You know the one I'm talking about in the second half. I thought it's that sets Martial apart from most players. I think that first touch, he almost glides on the ball. I don't know where that finishing ability's gone, because that was one of his strongest parts of his game. It always has been. He's been one of the best. People think, I've probably said this before on the show, that Zlatan was a fantastic striker for us for that one season. Well, during that season, just that season alone, Zlatan was running at 11% conversion rate without any shots he had. So he was scoring 11% of all the shots. Martial's career conversion rate is 22%. That's double.
That's mental. That's actually really, really high. That's incredible.
And it's obviously going to be tarnished because this was at the start of this season that it was 22%. So I don't know what's happened with him. He's almost starting to look like a number 10 in the way he's playing, really, like almost like a false 9/number 10. And it's a little bit scary because you don't lose that finishing ability. It must be his confidence.
It's interesting because the same thing seems to have happened with Firmino as well. As he was fantastic in his first couple of seasons playing in that role, but as he got asked to drop deeper and deeper and maybe focusing on those aspects of his game more in training, his finishing did slip as well. So maybe it's the same with Martial. But I mean, look, Martial, when he's in the centre of that attack, when he's playing as our striker, a false 9 and number 10, whatever you want to call him, he knits that attack together. He's the glue in that attack. He makes everyone else play better around him. And he needs to get that finishing back to where it should be. Because if he is, he's a terrific player and he can be scoring 20, 25 goals for us. He just needs to have all of that. He needs to have the all-round game. It may be the hardest position on the pitch, but he's got to have it.
I do think a right winger and a left winger that can constantly, create chances. I mean, like Rashford again. I'm not beating on Rashford. You know that I'm really hard on him because I can see how good he can be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I see glimpses, and I know it's said, and I know it's compared. It is compared that he's almost Ronaldo-esque sometimes, and it does remind me of early Ronaldo when Ronaldo was just like really off the boil, but then he'd have elite performances. So I'm never going to be too hard on him, but him on the right-hand side causes us a lot of problems when sustaining attacks. We have properly bad attack sustaining.
I mean, I think part of it is he's not getting any help from his fullback, and another part of it is that when he's on the right, he's a lot more predictable. You know where he's going to go because he wants to get onto his right foot. He's not quite got that ability to cut in yet and still manage to fashion chances on his right if he cuts in. So he's still got time to... If he has more game time on the right, he'll get better, no doubt about it. But we need to bring in someone like Jadon Sancho. We need those wide creators because if you're going to play players like Martial, Van de Beek, you need players out wide who can create chances and get the ball into the box for them, as well as relying on those players to do it themselves.
Another thing I'd say quickly before we read out Damien's comment, which he agrees with me because obviously he's a top man and he knows his football.
Yeah. Really.
I noticed Martial's playing left wing tonight, and I know they were all switching all the time, but you often had Cavani central and Martial like there, almost playing slightly off him, but just to the left. Whereas there was no width, and it was all coming from Luke Shaw. And talking about Luke Shaw, and then I'm going to link this straight to Bruno Fernandes. Have you noticed when Bruno Fernandes is on the ball, he's reluctant to who he passes to? Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
he won't pass the ball to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's in space going like this, and he just goes, "Nope, I'll turn into trouble. I'm not passing to him." And he was doing the same with Shaw, to be honest. Shaw was making
Wan-Bissaka if he's in space.
Shaw was making so many good runs, got nothing, got nothing, and he made loads of good runs in behind. That's a strange one, that. But going back to Martial, yeah, he's playing like this, and I don't know if it's almost like I would like to hold the width a little bit more, especially with Cavani, and try and feed some balls in.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, for me, I think the thinking there was that we didn't necessarily want to feed. The purpose of having the width wasn't so we could put crosses in to get him into Cavani, because he's going to, against Tarkowski and Ben Mee, he's going to have a tough day. I think anyone is. I think the idea was just spread out the Burnley defence as much as we possibly can. And you know what? In a right back like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you know he's not the best going forward. All you need him to do is just be there to try and stretch the
he's
defence.
just not the best, Cam. It's not going forward anymore. It's just not the best. He's not a professional footballer. If he couldn't tackle, which he has to, because if he couldn't tackle, he wouldn't be a professional footballer. I've got a better passing range than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, I'm not being negative, Cam, but he has to go. I really don't like him.
Oh, come on. We'll keep it positive tonight. We're top of the league. But yeah, no, Aaron Wan-Bissaka first half. He wasn't great defending on the back post. Burnley clearly targeting that, sticking balls, diagonal balls right across the far post, overloading Wan-Bissaka with the left back and the left mid. I think
how many times, Cam? Just again to be negative, how many times do I message you? It's every single game, and I go,
it's multiple times a game. But if you want to know what my DMs look like during a game, it's Dak hitting me up multiple times. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he can't do this, he can't do that. He can't pass the ball, he treats it like a hot potato. He can't defend the back post. He can't defend the 1-2. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't want him to prove me wrong, by the way. I really want him to prove me wrong. I want him to go on and be a Cafu type player, just to run that, to be a Dani Alves, the English Dani Alves. But is he going to? No. Am I going to lose weight? Probably not. He's probably not going to be a top player. There you go.
Yeah, not a chance, not a chance. Damien says, yeah, Bruno seems reluctant to pass to some players. I think he's scared the attack's going to die if they're on the ball. And yeah, I mean, if you give the ball to Wan-Bissaka,
two things are going to happen if Wan-Bissaka gets the ball. It's either going to go out for a goal kick or you're just going to get straight back.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bruno's thinking, well, I'm going to have to turn into trouble anyway because I'm going to get it straight back. So I may as well just turn into trouble and try and find a pass.
Yeah, exactly. Either that or you're running back towards your own goal. So, yeah, it's a tough one.
Also, just go on. Were you going to ask me who else I thought played well?
Yeah, who else you thought played well?
Matic.
Yeah, I agree.
Unbelievable.
Matic, fantastic.
Did you see his pace when he was chasing someone? I forgot who he was chasing.
Yeah.
I was like, go on then, Matic.
He had to get there because otherwise Burnley were away. And he just made it before. He was just mad turn of pace. Never knew he had it in him. But yeah, it was fantastic. Matic it was just the intelligence, because he'd clearly been told at the start of the game. The idea was sort of, Burnley might come out and press you from their 4-4-2 shape. You sit in that back three with Matic, Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. So you've got a 3v2, so you can get that ball, work it beyond them and try and get beyond their front two. But we saw as the game went on, that wasn't how it was panning out. It wasn't always working like that. So sometimes Matic would put his foot on the ball, try and make them come out, draw some pressure so we get the pass in behind. But in the second half, rather than dropping into that back three all the time, he stayed in midfield, so we kept our 3v2 overload in the middle of the park instead. So it was really nice to see his intelligence there. Whether that was something that he was told at half-time, whether it's something he decided to do himself, it was fantastic that he had the awareness and the intelligence to go and do that and make changes on the pitch himself.
There's a domino effect happening in this team. I mean, it happens in every team. It's not just this team. But it's like when Martial plays well, the front three play well. That's a knock-on effect. Bruno plays well, the team plays well. But positionally, when we have a good midfield, basically a base of a midfield like a Matic that can progress the ball, progress it to Pogba, who progresses it to Bruno, so Bruno can stay in that 10 pocket, right? But because of Bailly being the quick centre back, that's almost, and I hate people talking about this quick centre back. It is a thing, but people just put too much on it. But what it does is it allows us to have one player and one player only needed just to cushion the defence, because Matic comes back into the back two anyway to make a back three, which allows Pogba to go forward, which allows Bruno to stay in the 10 space, like I say, to create. The only problem is because we've only got a spine of creativity, which is what I was saying before. When we're out wide, we have no real creativity. So it's kind of like that is often why, and also we get no service despite having Bruno Fernandes and having Paul Pogba in the team, is because there's no way we can stretch a defence. So they just do this. And I'm not talking down to you, Cam. I know you know this, but just for all the ladies and gentlemen out there.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on.
They just do this, and this is why Martial probably hasn't been scoring loads of goals, because he holds the ball back up and he's got 2 or 3 physical defenders right behind him that he has to turn and try and beat. It's really hard to do that, so that's why I was saying before, I want the width to be held, and like you said before, that's what we tried to do. We tried to stretch them, and it's another reason why Luke Shaw's improved massively. I mean, Ricky, we all know Ricky. Ricky said he's no better than last season, but he still thinks he's good. But I love Luke Shaw. I thought he was good last season, but he's like this, and it's again about spreading them players. And what we need to do now, we need to add a player on the left, even if it's just Martial, who can hold the width nicely. He can do it fine. Get a Jadon Sancho type player on the right, and even like a Cavani or even a Martial down the middle who can hold the ball and turn on it. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's just so much right about this team, but it's so close to being amazing. There are little things you need to be doing, and I tell you what, I'm really gutted about, Cam. While I'm on talking about the team, people out there who watch this, all three of them will probably say, you didn't know this player, you don't care, you never even watched him. I didn't know much about him, actually, but I am gutted that we've missed out on Moises Caicedo. I am, because I've watched a little bit of him. I thought he was really good, and I don't think we need a Matic replacement now, like I was adamant that we did. Not like in January. I mean, we will probably need one in the summer, but I'm gutted that we missed out on it, because I would have liked to see him play a few games in that role just to see if we are missing something. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And I know you've done a massive video on it. It was a good video, by the way. You should check it out, guys, if you haven't already. On Donny van de Beek. Is he the replacement to Paul Pogba?
Donny van de Beek.
Donny van de Beek, yeah.
Good question. Possibly, yeah. I mean, as I said in the video, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to go and watch it. Obviously, click on the channel; it's down there. If you haven't done already,
yeah. Like and comment, share with all your friends.
Exactly. Yeah. He needs to be looking to emulate Frank Lampard and become a fantastic.
Oh yeah, just score 200 goals in your career, emulate him. It's easy, really.
Exactly. Yeah, really easy for someone like Donny van de Beek. It's piss easy. Damien says, "Yep, he watched it. Oh, great stuff, Damien. Fantastic. Cheers for your support. Obviously the Baye appreciation message. However you say it.
You to me are everything, the greatest Eric since the king. Oh Baye, oh Baye. There you go. There's your Baye appreciation message.
Love it. We need just a bit more, just a little something, and we'll be back to being the best. Yeah, it's seeming that way. Towards the end of the game, I did feel, we looked a bit nervous. We looked like that result really, really meant something to us, but we looked like we weren't 100% sure we could hold on and get it. And the fact that we have it's incredible. I'm so pleased we managed to do it, because it could be massive for us. Now, Damien also says one thing that irked me a little bit in the game was a lot in the game, was we moved the ball a bit too slow. Now,
yeah, I think, agree. Yeah. First half, there was a lot of standing on the ball. There was a lot of no movement off the ball. That's still a problem, by the way. Like the players just going.
Ball possession is definitely still a problem. Agree.
I'm gonna discount Paul Pogba from this, because he's always played that way. He's always slow on the ball. He always takes his time. That's always has been. But you've got like Rashford doing it now, and you've got like even Martial doing it at times. It was just a bit. It was a bit lackluster, but we started to up the tempo. And I think it all started, again, from the Manu Matic playing really quick balls to feet in the second half. Just bang to feet, turn, bang to feet, turn, bang to feet, turn. But I do think it was a bit of a problem. What were you going to say, Cam?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think at the start of the game especially, I think United were really nervous coming out the traps, and Burnley put us under pressure, made it difficult. So I think at the start of the game, the first maybe 15, 20 minutes, I think playing a little bit slowly was exactly what we needed in that period of the game. I think sometimes we rushed it, we tried to force passes. We just need to put our foot on the ball, get players to have a few touches, get some composure, build a little bit of almost relax into the game and allow the team as a whole to grow into it. So I think moving the ball slowly in the first 15, 20 was maybe acceptable. I think maybe it's what we needed. But after that, yeah, I do completely agree with Dak. You got anything to add, Dak? I mean, other than that, I'm thinking, we're on top of the league. We're 3 points clear of Liverpool, playing Liverpool on the weekend. Fantastic game to look forward to. And you know what? This time, I'll go on. Prediction for Liverpool, Dak?
I'm normally decent with my predictions, Cam. I normally am. But I can see us winning 3-0 as easily as getting beat 4-0.
Yeah,
I really
can.
It's
a really, really tough one. They've got if they play that long-haired kid at centre back, we could be scoring a few. But equally, you never know. Their front three are always dangerous. The midfield's
we've got a bit of injury worries now, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, Martial's out. I guess
That's a chance for Big Mason to come in the team
possibly.
and
Yeah,
score some goals.
possibly. I think
Who
Cavani will
needs to be
start.
playing down the middle?
Yeah, agreed. Damien says, hope we put the Scousers in their place. I think we agree with you, Damien. And on that note, it's been a brilliant night. United back on top of the league. And that, for me, seems a good place to end it. So what's your prediction, Dak? 2-0? 1-0?
I'm gonna go 3-0 to the Manchester United team.
Come on, let's hope it comes off
Eric
like that. I'm
Bailly
going to go 2-1
masterclass.
United.
Eric Bailly hat-trick. Eric Bailly clean sheet. Eric Bailly 3 assists as well to himself.
Fair enough. All right. Cheers for watching, all 2, 3, 4 of you, however many of you have watched. I've enjoyed it. We're back on top of the league. Cheers for coming on, Dak. And yeah, it's been great to see you. Damien says, finally, if Klopp plays Williams, it'll be murder. Yeah, exactly. I think the same if Ollie plays Brandon Williams, but we'll ignore that. And on that note, anything else to say, Dak?
See you, everyone.
See you, boys. And cheers for watching. And see you again on the weekend. I'll be doing my tactical analysis video very shortly, so stay tuned for that.